Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and what I want to talk about in this video is clients being scammed by close protection security companies. And this happens quite often. When a client comes to you, many times, they're going to be afraid, they've got a problem, they want you to help them with their problem. And to me, that's what we do. We try and help the clients with the problem. But first of all, we have to identify whether they actually do have a problem. This is where your threat assessments come in, etc., and actually researching the client and seeing what the situation really is. And you need to do this for a couple points. One, you need to know if you can actually do the job, or maybe the client has issues with law enforcement, has issues with organized crime, and you don't want to be part of the job because you can end up getting yourself in a lot of trouble. So from a provider's point of view, a service provider's point of view, you need to know what the real situation is with the client to cover your own ass. Now, what happens in a lot of cases, a client will go to a security company and say they got a problem, and all that client is thinking, or the security company is thinking is, okay, we get to play bodyguard and we get to make some money. I know multiple cases of where security companies, investigation companies have taken advantages of clients and played on their fears. It's the same as the story is with most lawyers, especially criminal defense. A client will go in, they'll tell the lawyer they have a problem. The lawyer will tell them that they don't have a problem, they have a really big problem. And that lawyer is the only person that can solve them for them. The lawyer will help them, do everything for them, etc. And by the way, they've got a really big problem. Once the client is given across their retainer, the lawyer does nothing. The lawyer does minimum. Because it's all about billing hours. They don't want to solve the person's problem. They want to extend the problem, because the more billing hours, the more money they make. That's what they care about. They don't care about the client. They don't care about the person's problem. Let me give you a couple of stories. Years ago, I was approached by somebody that had an issue, a kidnapping issue. Their girlfriend had been kidnapped in Eastern Europe, apparently. They told me they'd already spoken to one major US risk management company. They'd sent somebody to see him. They were talking extraction plans and all the Hollywood BS. They wanted $15,000 down as a retainer, minimum. That's what it was going to cost. Okay, this company had never done a threat assessment, and they never even found out the real situation. With all kidnappings, the first thing you need to do is confirm what the situation is. You confirm, because it might not be a real kidnapping. This was not a real kidnapping. The guy's girlfriend was a prostitute. She'd sent him a story. This guy was madly in love with her. And I take it he would have been getting a ransom demand and he would have paid it. He was being played, big time. We found out what the real story was and traced the girl to where she was working in Germany. There'd been no kidnapping. It was a big story. That didn't cost us much to do. The client wasn't too happy with the story and finding out his girlfriend's a prostitute, but he got the truth from us. He didn't just get a $15,000 bill from a company that done absolutely nothing and could do nothing. Another story. Back in the crazy days in Eastern Europe, I come across a guy that claimed to have, well, this guy had said he had mafia issues in Moscow. To me, it was all BS. He went to a security company because he had a falling out with somebody. The security company most probably said, okay, we got a dumb rich American here, let's take him for some money. Yes, they told him, you do have a problem, a very big problem. You need plenty of bodyguards. You need armored cars. You need to go into hiding at a 5-star hotel. He was then escorted to the airport in a motorcade, whipped through customs, put on a plane back to the US. I wouldn't say he had a problem. I would say that security company just saw somebody they could make a lot of money off by going along with his fears and blowing the problem out of proportion, where there was no problem. If this guy had a problem with organized crime, Russian organized crime, well, he was living in Aventura, South Florida, which was right next to Sunny Isles, which in the day was a big Russian area. You know what? If he had such a big organized crime problem, he wouldn't be telling everybody about his big organized crime problem at his dinner parties, etc., etc., etc. So That's another one where a client was played by a security company. I know of one case in, again, South Florida in the US, where a woman with domestic issues went to a private investigation agency / security company and told them she had major issues, domestic issues. Whether she did or not, I don't know, but I know that private investigation company hired their own people to follow her, and when they had protection people with her, they were pointing out that, oh my God, we've been followed. There's a car following us. That guy's watching us. Yeah, they were, because they were own people. And again, they were pointing this out to the woman, and they were playing on her fears. They were frightening her more, so she kept paying for their services. To me, it's completely unethical. At the lower end of the scale, I know a security guard company years ago in UK, did a lot of construction sites, etc., building sites, and the owner of the company used to go around and throw stones at his guards at night. I know he put windows through on buildings where he had guards. Why? Because in the morning when the staff turn up, the guards would be frightened, telling the workers, the staff what had happened. So again, they keep the security contracts going. To the clients, if you're going to a security company and they're not asking you what the real situation is with your problem or why you think you have a problem, and they're not doing an assessment and they're just providing you with guards, I would doubt the legitimacy of that company. You're hiring a security company, you're not hiring a close protection company. A close protection company, to cover their own ass, will want to know what the real situation is with you and what your problem is. As I said in the beginning, if you've got a serious problem with organized crime, then most security companies are not going to be able to handle that. It'll be a law enforcement issue, or at least they have to be liaising with law enforcement. If for some reason you've done something wrong and you're being followed by law enforcement, I would want to know that as well, because I'd be very wary about taking you on as a client, if at all. So this is where if you go to a company and or phone up a security company and they're going to send you out guards straight away, they're not a close protection company. So this is a scam that happens all the time. It's old, and I'm sure if you're a service provider and you're listening to this thinking, okay, I need to do those scams, well, you know what? Trash is trash. That's all I can say. To me, if you're a professional close protection company and somebody comes to you with a problem, you want to help them, and you can make plenty of money helping people and providing the services you're meant to provide. If you need to scam people, then you're one of the people that's destroying the close protection business. But people like you have been around forever, and trash is trash. Okay, I hope you found this video informative. I got 3 books online specifically to do with close protection on Amazon. We're throwing out more videos that are on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, etc. If you have any questions, serious questions, please feel free to drop me a line if you're connected with me, and I'm happy to answer relevant questions when I have the time. So thanks for watching, and again, if you're serious about this business, please be serious. If you're a scammer, please stay away from me.